What is a hipster? Where do they go? What do they wear? And what are they? A drunken man in Northbridge once described hipsters as the people who keep stealing his newspapers. My sister said that I'd be a hipster if I bathed and listened to good music. So let's go check it out. What really is a hipster? Welcome to Submerging with Max Everitt. A few months ago there was an article in the New York Times that described Perth as being a hipster haven. When I asked the people of Perth what they think about this description, is Perth the mainstream, or is it a shallow creek like the article suggests? Let's find out. Like a few months ago there was an article in the New York Times that said that Perth was described as a hipster haven. What are your thoughts on that?
Most likely true, yeah, there's a lot around. So.
It's pretty accurate when you look around the city. It started out as a few, it turned into an epidemic pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's true. There's heaps of hipsters.
And what do you think a hipster is?
Young guy with a beard, following a certain set of style guidelines, I guess. It's just another a random subculture that probably jumps up throughout every generation.
All I know about hipsters is the jeans that I use as a hipster.
Youngsters, around. Well, I suppose someone who is up with all that stuff, like music and art and, yeah, the latest happening stuff.
Would you describe yourself as a hipster?
No way.
No. No way.
I'm too old.
No. No way.
I can gather that the people of Perth are more confused than Adam Sandler in a movie without Rob Schneider. They don't really seem to grasp what a hipster is yet. So I decided to skip the people and go straight to the source. First stop, Toast Face Griller. I'm standing at the front of Toast Face Griller. Although the place is small, the vibes are big. Let's get to it. So I stepped inside the small area, and I was quite surprised that a place that only sold grilled cheese sandwiches and coffee could have such a nice atmosphere. I couldn't help but read the newspaper. There was something about the budget and what Tony Abbott had done. But the rap music distracted me, and I felt calm. This was definitely a place I'd like to go again.
So my name's Callum. I work here as a barista and, well, a griller. So I do a bit of everything. So everyone here kind of does the same thing. We all make coffee, we all make the sandwiches, and serve customers, just create a good vibe. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's a hipster haven. We do have a lot of, we do have an up and coming scene where it's a lot of younger people trying to push new ideas. Places like this, like you've got the Bird, which is really focused around the local music scene. They cover all sorts of different varieties of music. A lot of new places, yeah, like I said, coming up under younger people. So we do have quite a. You could call it a hipster sort of generation, but we're not. We're just trying a whole heap of new things, we're taking influences from around the world. So we live in a world where we can access what's going on in New York in 2 seconds. We can see what's going on around the world, and it's just taking ideas from other places, and we've just got such an influx of different ideas from Melbourne, America, Europe, whatever you want to look at. So I guess you can look at it that way and call it a hipster haven, I suppose. Oh man, I think people take themselves too seriously in that regard. I think they take that sort of being a part of a scene or being named under being a hipster. I think people take that a bit too seriously. And so it's just a stereotypical sort of broad term to summarize. It pretty much just describes the group of people that go to these places. We're a younger generation of people that we dress a lot differently in some ways. So I reckon it's good, man. To take away the label from it, I think what we've got going on here is awesome.
Well, I think we're pretty much done now, so thank you for your time.
Yeah, awesome, man. Cheers. Thanks.
So as soon as I stepped inside Uncle Joe's, I understood immediately what the article meant by hipster haven. This place looked amazing. Although looking around, there weren't too many hipsters in the place. This made me confused. Aren't hipsters supposed to go to hipster places? I decided to investigate and see what all the fuss was about. Would you say that there is like a sort of a hipster culture in Perth, or like a sort of like a subculture that would fit that sort of description?
Maybe there is. There's a bit of a. It's hard. I think it's just a real openness to good food. Everybody's after trying to find good food, good coffee, good haircuts, and I think people are willing to go out their way to find these places. It does sort of maybe attract a certain group of people because of that.
I would like to encourage everyone to come into the space and to feel comfortable. I love a corporate gentleman to come in and feel comfortable to get his hair cut, sitting next to someone with a pineapple coloured shirt with crazy hair, and and then at the side a 60-year-olds.
So there was an article in the New York Times a while ago that described Perth as sort of like a hipster haven. What are your thoughts on that article? It even named this place by name?
That article was amazing. We were so happy.
For the New York Times to come in and for them to reference us, I think that's pretty cool.
Just some fresh ideas in Perth, really. And I think we've, it's been a good few years here. There's been nothing else going on, and now there's new businesses. People are open to it.
The word hipster gets bandied about. As you can probably see, I'm definitely not a hipster. I've been around for way too long for that word to be used for me.
I think the word hipster's used around quite a lot. I think it's more, I see it as a term of just people who are interested in trying something new, quite open to new ideas. It is a bit of a negative term around it.
I guess our alternative is probably a term that I would probably phrase more than hipster.
People use the word hipster in a negative light, but it's good for growing Perth in a way,
Yeah.
So no, I don't think it's a bad thing really, no.
Awesome.
No.
Well, thank you for your time.
No worries, mate. Pleasure. All good.
It's nice to talk to you.
Good to talk to you.
Enough of questions. I think it's about time I stepped inside the shoes of a hipster and saw what all the fuss was about. I'll start with grabbing a coffee, I'll change my clothes, I'll get a haircut. This is gonna be awesome. I was quite surprised that a Maori guy called Binger, who looked like he was strong enough to throw me across an Olympic-sized swimming pool, was cutting my hair. He told me that he'd been in hairdressing for about 5 years. I could tell that. He was really good. This is the best haircut I'd ever had in my life, especially considering the last haircut I had was in the back of my friend's house, in the backyard, while their chicken, Daddy's little meat horse, pecked at my shoelaces. I even got a free Red Bull. I could get used to this. So when you talk about hipster and music, I guess you could say that the bird is the word. People have been telling me that for ages, so I decided to suss this out. As soon as I walked inside, the music sounded awesome, and people you wouldn't normally see talking to each other were having long conversations and swapping ideas. Seems like a nice place where people can come together, chill, and share music. Would you describe what I'm looking like now? Would you describe this as a typical person who comes to Perth?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, definitely the beard, a little smooth haircut on the side. Definitely. Button-up shirt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's always hard to describe like hipsters, and I'd say it's like a mix of a bunch of cultures, going with like a lot of music as well. It's very hard to describe what it is, but I think with it, in this kind of like feeling and atmosphere, and especially the bird is such a tiny place that you feel like in your like friend's backyard. So meeting all these people that like have different point of view and like different kind of stuff is a good thing. Like people just share their passion and their love about music, every kind of music.
I think in a true way of mind, right, that indie culture has paid a positive effect to the youth in Perth, I think it is more of a less brought them away from the normalities of life and sort of brought them up to believe in something, sort of brought them up to achieve something, not only for the money or the wealth, it's for themselves, for like who they are, like to really build themselves, you know, get a strong background, not, you know, listen to any of them clowns that say all this and that. Like you can walk out the street, you could have piercings and all that, and people judge you and that, but you look at them and you think, what for? I'm just the same as you. I just chose to get this done. You know what I mean? I paid whatever, but still, yeah.
So recently I was at my friend's house. I found his diary. So I'm going to read out some entries from his diary. This week is entitled The Worst Week of My Life. May 10. My sister spilled honey in my hair. It was bad at first. It smelled pretty good though. But at least I found out that honey works better than wax. May 15th. Today I was ironing my favorite white shirt and I burnt it in the corner. At first I thought this is horrible, but then I just went over it with the iron and made prints. My clothing label comes out next Tuesday. May 20th. Today I was walking my pet chicken through the CBD of Perth. People were staring at me. I think it was because I was wearing a FUBU jumper. I wish people would stop calling me a hipster. Signed, George. As the sun sets on a quiet Perth, I think it's safe to say that I've found it. I've found the definition of hipster. Hipster is more a culture, a subculture, an experience, rather than a person. There are many people who can fit into this hipster subcategory, as you notice when we're interviewing people. They all said different things. A lot of them had the right idea, but at the same time their idea was different than what I thought was a hipster. This is what I thought was a hipster, but not other people. So that's, I guess, what it is. Being a hipster is trying new things. It's exploring new possibilities, it's trying new food, it's trying new coffee, it's getting a new haircut, and it's standing on the top of a car park when you have a fear of heights. So, I guess that's all from me. Thanks for submerging with me. Max Everitt.
Time's racing by.